Let's learn a little bit about Scratch by going out and looking for one of the earliest video games ever made, Pong. When we put Pong into the search bar on our Scratch site after we're already logged in, you'll see that there are a number of starters here for different Pong games that other people have created. We're going to go into the one that the Scratch team started, Pong Starter. Here's our Pong game, and let's play it through just to see the pieces of it. I've made it large by going up here. I'm going to click the green flag to start, and going back to the directions, it said that I needed to move the mouse to control the paddle. So let me make it large, click the green flag, and move my mouse to make it. All right, so that's our Pong game, and let's take a look inside of it. You can click the See Inside to go in and look at the coding for the game. So let's look first of all at what are called the backdrops, or the stage area, and those are found here. I'm going to click on the word that says stage, and it says there are 3 backdrops. Here is the field for the programming of the backdrop. There is no programming that goes with this backdrop. Here is the backdrops, all right, and you'll see we have 3 of them, a brick wall and a plain red line. There is one sound in the sound file, pop, and it is not currently programmed to be heard. So let's go back and look at what are called the sprites. There are 2 sprites with this game. We click on them down in the sprite panel, which brings up the dialogue about them. This sprite has a water drop sound. It has 3 potential images, a blue ball, a green ball, and a yellow ball. And it has programming, and let's see if we can understand the programming. It says when the green flag is pressed, go to x equals 20 and y equals 150. Know that the Scratch panel is an XY coordinate plane. The stage area in Scratch is an XY coordinate plane that finds the origin 0, 0 in the center. The y positive values go up to 180. The x positive values go to 240. And then again, y equals negative 180 and x equals negative 120. So if we go back in our sprite and we look at our script, it says go to x equals 20, y equals 150, which starts at every time here. Look at where it starts. And so it's important to get it to start there, otherwise when you finish the game, the next person who goes to play it, the ball may not be appropriately placed. So I can move it to different XY positions by clicking on it here and changing my programming by dragging this over. And if I move the ball, it also automatically changes the x and y coordinates in my motion blocks. Point in 45 degrees refers to the direction the ball is traveling its 15 steps. So currently it's pointing 45 degrees each time it travels. If I were to change that to pointing 90 degrees, it would just move back and forth, right? Or if I were to change it to moving 0 degrees, it would just move up and down. So by asking it to move 45 degrees, it will move at that angle. We have what's called a loop structure, which means it keeps going forever. There are different types of loop structures. You can repeat it a certain number of times, or you can go on forever, or you can create an if-then type loop. So it's saying forever, if it touches the edge, it will bounce off the edge. So there, it bounced off the edge. Every edge it touches, it bounces, moves 15 steps. And the suggestion here is to increase that. Let's go up to 30, and we'll see it goes faster. So we can see forever that it's moving 15 steps, then moving 15 steps, then moving 15 steps. And seeing if it's on the edge. If it's not, it moves another 15 steps, goes back. Is it on the edge? It's not, it's going to move another 15 steps, or if it is, it's going to bounce and then move 15 steps. Do you understand? The other thing that happens when you click flag, so notice that they have multiple programs running when green flag pressed, is forever if it touches the paddle, and you got to name the paddle as a sprite, all right? And we can change what happens here, but if it touches the paddle, it will play the sound water drop. It will turn a random 160 to 200 degrees. So it's just turning completely around, and it's moving 15 steps again. And at that point, it'll pick up here again with this if on the edge. So let's test that. So whenever the green paddle touches it, we can also change the sound that it plays. We can record a sound, or we can go in and put a new sound in. We'll learn that in another tutorial. And finally, if the green flag is pressed and it touches the red color, it's supposed to stop, and it's not. Let's try again. There we go. It had the wrong color red in there. So it's stopping when it hits the red line. Let's start again. Yep. Start again. I'm not quick enough with my mouse. Start again. And as long as I keep it off the red line, it keeps going. And we can change what happens when it hits the red line. For example, we can, down the road, we'll learn how to set variables. We can set a variable for 3 lives and then count down a life and end the game when it gets to 0 lives. There's a variety of things that we can do. So that's the programming for the ball. And over here is the programming for the paddle. And the paddle just says that whenever you move your mouse, it will change the X value by where the mouse is pointing. So again, as I point the mouse, it will move the mouse, or move the paddle, it will move the paddle in the direction of the mouse. So that's it. That's how they made the game Pong. And what's really great about Scratch is we get to go in, and if you want to, you can click the remix button and you can take their game and make it into your own. And it will show a remix tree. Let's go back to the project page and look at the remix tree. You'll see that 23,000 people have remade Pong. And we could pick on a random person's Pong game. As long as we're logged in, we have the ability to open up something called our backpack. And if we put a sprite in our backpack, like this ball, we not only carry all of the different images of that ball that came with the costumes, we also carry the sound and all the programming. And then we can open our backpack in another game and move it in. So even when we don't fully understand the programming, if it's operating in a way that we want it to operate, we can take that with us, enter it into our game. This is also a great way for a community of people to build a game together, that we can have one person working on the opening sequence, and then we'll use a backpack to bring that into the main game, and another person working on an element of the gameplay or a sprites program, and use the backpack to bring that in. So Scratch offers us a tremendous amount of options. We'll be going over in future tutorials how the different motion, looks, sound, data, events, control, sensing, and operator blocks work. I will see you in the next game.